Happy Wednesday morning, very early Wednesday morning, you guys. We have some things to talk about, so grab a beverage. Hopefully you're wearing something very comfy. Smash that like on your way in, and let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian, pop culture vulture, and dopamine fiend, Joleen Lunzer here for another No Offense, All Offense, where we take a look and get into and sometimes roast and take a comedic twist and just react to things that are spiking our dopamine, which basically anything that's interesting us. Obviously, right now, the Nancy Guthrie, the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie, where is Nancy Guthrie, is all over. I have been watching all of the things all day today and all this evening, and it is just after midnight where I am. Hopefully wherever you are well, you guys. But I just was watching JLR Investigates, who is I wasn't really familiar with him before this, but he is someone who has been going live constantly about this situation. And he is there in Tucson and the surrounding areas as the police and the FBI have been, as well as, all media has been there trying to get to the bottom of this just very mysterious kidnapping, disappearance of NBC Today show anchor Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mom, Nancy Guthrie. So the last couple days have been crazy if you guys have been following this. And it seems as though, at any minute people are like, oh, the cops are here. And then you had you had Ashley Banfield originally reporting that she believed it was someone within the family, Nancy's son-in-law. And then the police have been camped out in that neighborhood, Nancy's, and then also in her daughter Annie's neighborhood, which is close by in Tucson. And then tonight, the police put out, the media did, and the police confirmed it, that they had someone kind of detained, I guess you would say. And so as I was watching all the live streams of the people that are on site there, and then Brian Enton and JLR Investigates, I was watching a little bit of Gigi with Pretty Lies and Alibis, I think. I always get her podcast name wrong, and it's such a good podcast name, and I shouldn't get it wrong, but that's on me. So tonight there was a man who was detained near Mexico, and this is according to, right now I'm just looking at something from the Daily Mail, but JLR Investigates was talking about it. Brian Enton actually talked to the guy's mother-in-law. So just outside of Tucson, Arizona, there was a man who was detained in I think the city is Rio Rico, and I lived in Arizona for many years, and I've been to Tucson, but I've never been to this area, but they're saying it's Rio Rico. So the mother-in-law of the detained man in connection with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance has spoken out after police raided her home. The Arizona woman, who identified herself as Josephina, told News Nation she believes her son-in-law is innocent. And this is, I believe, an interview she did with Brian Enton, and we can pull that up here. I just wanted to read through this first. Josephina told the outlet that her son-in-law was inside their Rio Rico home when Nancy was taken. The person of interest was detained by police during a traffic stop just miles from the Mexican border. And this comes after, again, so much happened today, you guys. This comes after Kash Patel decides to tweet out pictures. Finally, we got that Nest Cam pictures and video of a man, and it's just like so creepy and terrifying. A man in like a mask and gloves with a backpack and what looks to be like a pew-pew on his pee-pee, and he was trying to cover up the Nest cam with flowers. I mean, just creepzilla. Okay. So then after that was dropped, it didn't take long before all of a sudden they were reporting that they had someone detained. So this guy, again, he was picked up during a traffic stop just miles from the Mexican border. Although officials have detained a man in relation to the case, the individual is not named as a suspect at this time. That's what News Nation was reporting earlier. And according to his mother-in-law, says, my daughter and he and the kids, my grandkids, were doing DoorDash when they got stopped here. She told the outlet of her son-in-law's detainment. She also told CNN that authorities are searching her home after they received a tip relating to the ongoing investigation. I told them, you can go in and search my house. There is nobody there. I have nothing to hide, Josefina said. And then they have pictures. Let me show you guys the article I'm reading from so you can get just a visual of this poor woman. I mean, she's just like terrified. And then so much developed after this that we got to get to. Remember to smash that like on your way in. You guys, if you haven't already, if you want to support the channel further, you can do what Googie did here. And you can send over a super chat, which is always appreciated. You don't have to, but thank you so much. Googie0307, or you can join my membership here on YouTube or Patreon, or hit me up on the Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Again, those are optional, but much appreciated. Okay, so here's the Daily Mail story. Here's the mother-in-law, Josefina, and just, I mean, crazy that you're just living your life, and then all of a sudden the FBI and the police are there thinking that your son-in-law is possibly involved in something having to do with the disappearance of this case that is obviously, all over the news right now because of, Savannah Guthrie being such a, staple in American journalism, and I mean, co-host of the Today Show. And then also with Nancy Guthrie, her mom, being this 84-year-old woman just kidnapped seemingly in the middle of the night from her Tucson home. So Josefina insisted her son-in-law had nothing to do with the 84-year-old's disappearance as authorities continue to investigate the detained man. Josefina added that police did not present a search warrant before entering her home. And this is something that this man that they quote unquote detained will confirm with media later in the evening, or should I say, well, probably about midnight tonight, which I saw on JRL Investigates and JLR. Why do I keep saying JRL? JLR, which if you're not already subscribed, I mean, he has like 60,000 people watching his live stream, so you're probably already subscribed, but I tagged his channel in the description just in case, because he is just live streaming right there 24/7. So Josefina added that the police did not, like I said, present a search warrant before entering her home. And I'm sorry that happened to the Guthries. She said, I don't know her. I don't know anything about their lives or what's going on, but I'm so sorry whoever took her. I hope she got back safe. Authorities also showed Josefina the surveillance footage of the suspect from Nancy Guthrie's Ring camera, but she said there was no resemblance to her son-in-law. And you guys can decide when I show you from JLR Investigates from his stream, this gentleman. Video showed an armed figure clad, like I said, in a ski mask. And it was very like an old school ski mask, almost like a cliched bank robber ski mask, and carrying a backpack, wearing black latex gloves. The suspect can be seen tampering with the mother of three's Nest doorbell camera and ripping the camera from its holder on the door frame. They showed me a video to see if it was him, to see if I recognized the things he was wearing. He doesn't have any of that. He doesn't have anything that comes in the video, she told ABC 15's Lillian Donahue. Again, this is the mother-in-law of the guy that they were looking into and that they detained earlier today. So here is just one of the images that I'm sure most of you have seen because it's been plastered everywhere from this Nest camera footage. Just so creepy. Again, then this idiot grabs flowers or some plants from Nancy Guthrie's front yard to cover the Nest camera with. Strange. Josephina said her son-in-law was a good guy and has no prior criminal record, assuring that she was positive he was at home when Guthrie was snatched. That's just such a weird term to use, when she was snatched. Okay, just say kidnapped, abducted, something's a little more professional. I know this is the Daily Mail, but come on, I feel like we can do better. On the weekends, he stays at my house. He doesn't go nowhere, she told the outlet. It is unclear whether police believe the detained person is the armed figure in the video. Authorities were seen searching a gray SUV in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Footage from the scene in Rio Rico shows. So I was watching JLR while he pulled up to the car and they're just investigating it. And I'm thinking, I don't know if maybe I just watch too many, crime shows, but I'm thinking you kind of seal off the whole area. And it felt as though people could just like walk up to that automobile. I know they did have some, tape surrounding these areas, but when JLR shows up, he did stay like a respectful distance back. But I'm like, you can just get that close, but they were just, tearing this car up. So it's unclear whether police believe the detained person is, we already said that. The Pima County Sheriff's Department confirmed to CNN that the vehicle was the same one pulled over during a traffic stop during which a man was taken into custody. Footage from the scene shows the vehicle surrounded by Pima County Sheriff's Department vehicles and Marina police cars. Santa Cruz County Sheriff's deputies block a street where a person was detained. So the street was blocked. And then JLR got in his Jeep with a local guy who was like, this night has been insane. Watching the live streams of people there was like, I'll take you a back way. And so you can get a better look at this dude's house since they have the car there and they did tape off the street. So then JLR gets in his car and goes up a back roads mountain in the desert. And now I live in the desert, so I know those. I've lived in Arizona. Right now I live in the California desert, so I know those back road mountain desert roads. And at one point, I think he almost drove off a cliff. He's okay. Spoiler alert. But he just had a stranger in his car who I think knew him from his YouTube channel that was like, I'll take you. And if any of you were watching it live as he was streaming it, I'm thinking, oh my God, stranger danger. And also, wow, it must be so nice to be a man. I would never let anyone in my car, especially a man I didn't know. He got him up there. They were able to see a few more things and then drove him back down. And that was that. But I was like, holy shit. Everyone in the comments are going so fast because he's got like 60,000 people watching him. And they're like, oh my God, you're going to get taken by the cartel. Like, just like, this is crazy. All right. It was so crazy. So now that I've watched all this and seeing these pictures, I'm like, JLR already went up a mountain, damn near got abducted. No offense to that guy. He probably was never going to abduct him, but you just don't know in today's society. Who can you trust? So the Pima County Sheriff's Department confirmed to CNN that the vehicle was the same one pulled over. We know that they blocked off the road. And we have a snapshot here of, Savannah and her mom. Savannah obviously put these Nest photos of the kidnapper on her social media today, as well as, there's been obviously a few different videos messages, some people have interpreted them certain ways, especially when they were still talking about possible ransom and wondering if that it was a legitimate ransom. And the way that Savannah's message, maybe it was the third message, I can't, there's been so many things that have happened since then, but where they said, we understand, we hear you, we just want, I'm paraphrasing, but we just want our mom back so we can celebrate with her. Some people took that as, her mom is no longer with us. I didn't take it that way because I want to stay on the positive side of it. But there were a lot of people going, oh, that's bad. However, today, Savannah did post on her Instagram that they believe that Nancy is still alive. And I do too. I think there is a chance. Obviously, there's always a chance. There's always hope to get Nancy home safely. And hopefully they're getting closer. But tonight unfortunately, didn't really get them much closer at all. Let me tell you what did Savannah write here? Did she write it here? So yeah, the pictures came out at about 1:32 Eastern of this guy who they believe is the man who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. And then on Savannah's social media, she had said, oh, maybe I didn't even capture her exact quote, but she did say that she believes that her mom is still alive. So it's been just such a roller coaster of emotions and what the authorities versus the family versus the public think regarding the, status of Nancy. So Savannah posted the video on her social media, this creepy video of the guy, and it appears to be a man, at the front door and then trying to cover up the camera before ripping it out. And she said, someone out there recognizes this person. We believe she is still out there. Bring her home. Anyone with information, contact 1-800-CALL-FBI or the Pima County Sheriff's Department, 520-351-4900. And then she also posted some of the screenshots of this idiot trying to put flowers in front of the Nest cam, where she again says, we believe she is still alive. Bring her home. Okay. So now that we're caught up to that, hello, you guys. Sorry that I haven't greeted you properly. I want to now take a look at JLR so as this is going down in Rio Rico, I believe the city is called, just outside of Tucson, not too far. It seemed like it took JLR maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes to drive there from Tucson. And this is right on the border, I guess. And he was sitting in he had already went up the mountain with the strange guy. He lived to tell the tale. Then he was back down near the home of this guy who had been detained. And I believe they put the guy's name out there. I think his name is Carlos. And so people are, reporting on this. And now, now his name is in with this investigation, which, if they don't, again, have proof of this, it can be a problem. I think this could be a problem for the police, but what do I know? I'm just a comedian who follows newsy true crime stuff and pop culture. So, okay. So then the person detained after they had, let me just share JLR's, because I think he's still live. I think he was going to be going live most of the night. Eventually he'll have to sleep because I think he's been live like all day. I've popped in and out of his lives, and he is kind enough to let other people on YouTube, other content creators, use his live streams, which I didn't know, which is good to know. So thank you, Michelle's Three Boys, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't know where my little soundboard is here, but hopefully you hear that. Thank you so much. Okay, the super sticker. So here he is in the car, and he was finding these. He found a Carlos with the same name, but then he realized that this Carlos was probably this guy's dad, maybe. So
there's no way, but it's his name. I guess his dad's a registered SO. It's his dad. I'm just digging around while I'm sitting here. I guess his dad registered SO. And he's a junior. But here's the thing about it is, his dad has an address in Tucson, Arizona, on Coral Avenue in Tucson.
You guys can hear the audio on that, right? Give me a thumbs up as soon as you can hear the audio.
Let me see this dad. His dad, the SO registered database has his dad living in Tucson.
Okay, so he's looking up this stuff. He's thinking the cops are going to be there. Well, all of a sudden the cops start dispersing. Thank you guys for letting me know you can hear the audio on that. And he's like, holy shit, they opened up the crime scene. And then he's about to run in.
Publicly available information. We'll just say 7500 block of South Coral Avenue. That's where this guy, he has to register because he's a level 1 SO, age 56, height 5'7", 190. Carlos Palazuelos is his dad, but 7527.
Because this is about,
dude, how's this even possible?
This is when he thought the this was dying down for the night. And then the police, like I said, start dispersing, taking off. And that's when he heads into this area that has been taped off to media.
Dad lives like right by Amelia Maldonado Elementary School. How's it even possible? Hey, they turned the lights off.
Which that is terrifying, especially if his dad is an SO, like he's saying, which is a offender. If I had to think about that, like, what is that? And then, oops. Thank you, Alex, for the super chat. Alex says, if you don't know about JLR, I don't. He has a whole Wikipedia page dedicated to him suing people. Like, who? Check. Okay, I'll have to check it out. I think I saw, shout out to Excited Utterance, I think I saw Hella talking about him recently, and I joined for a minute, but I didn't know, like, I don't know all the things, so I'll have to look it up. Thank you Maui Mama. Aloha, Jolene. If you ever run out of stuff to cover, look up this guy, his background. So much this guy's background, what the hell did he do? I know Hella doesn't like him. I don't know what he did. Taxi Marn, thank you so much for the 2. You guys are so smart. As I keep dipping my toes into true crime, everyone is okay. But let's keep going.
Yo, they released the scene. Whoa, let's go. They're gone. Yo, we can go in. Let's go. This crime scene has been released.
So I'm like, there's one thing I don't understand about this. All these crime scenes are just opened up in media. Is this normal in these cases of that you guys have watched? That this has happened where you're like, oh yeah, I just showed up at the front door and there was blood everywhere. And you're like, why isn't this stuff taped off for longer periods of time? But I digress.
All right, let's go investigate. Look at this. All these media people are like pulling up. Woo! They just released the crime scene. Maybe. Dude, there's people out there. Come on, let's go.
I didn't think so, Elizabeth. This seems strange. Thank you, Alex.
Go interview. They're interviewing people.
We're learning together, Carol. Okay, so this is when it gets crazy. And I am in the bath. Like, I'm taking a bath, and I'm just going to listen to this. And I'm like, why is he running? Is this an episode of Cops? What's going on?
I don't follow the news.
Right.
I don't watch.
You don't watch the Today Show.
No.
So this was a complete shock.
It was.
What
kind
was
of questions were they asking you?
Nothing. They didn't ask me no questions.
So they
nothing,
just said,
nothing. They
so they
just sent
took
me
it-
in the car. They investigated my car and this one, and that's it. They didn't ask me no questions. No nothing.
did you get the other car back? Or they still have it?
No, it's right there.
Oh, they gave it back to you. So
Yeah, it's like
and they said you can go home?
yeah.
And how did they treat like the people you were with, your girl, your child?
I don't want to speak
Yeah,
about
not
that,
understood.
you know
Yep.
what I mean?
How's your family? They
Well, they're all
scared
in
everybody. I was gonna say they scared everybody, huh?
Yeah, they're all in shock right now.
Wow.
Did they damage the house? Yeah.
What did they do to the
They
house?
broke the doors. What else? The garage door in the back. Yeah.
So what are you gonna do now?
I'll try to clear my name. I didn't do anything.
Well,
Can you
this
tell
is
us
one
your
of
name
the-
again? When they're done, I mean, I hope they get the suspect because I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name. And I'm done. Look at what I'm putting my family through.
You're on
Not just
national
them,
news now.
Not just them. Even my parents in Tucson.
Right.
Yeah.
And your mother-in-law was worried about you. She was saying it doesn't look anything like
Yeah.
him.
See, that's what I'm telling you guys.
Why do you think they came here? Why did you think they came to you?
If I would have known that answer, I would have given it to you, but I don't.
So you have no idea what led them
No,
to
I
you.
do not.
Nothing. They didn't
Nothing.
get. They didn't say car make, a license, nothing.
Nada.
Carlos, ¿hablas español?
Los dos. Soy bilingüe.
Carlos, si nos puedes platicar en español para Telemundo Arizona, ¿qué fue lo que sucedió?
Pues me estaban acusando de secuestro, algo que yo no hice. Y me. I'm done.
Okay.
What's your name?
Sorry, what's your name, sir?
Carlos, una
Carlos.
pena en español, por favor.
Gracias, Carlos.
Gracias,
It's not him.
Por favor, a ver.
Dude, are you going to sue them? Are you going to sue them? Oh,
So that guy was the one. This gentleman is the one that they apprehended him while his mother-in-law, I believe, what we read, she said that he was door dashing, possibly with his family. They searched his car, as you can hear straight from him. They went through his house, broke his garage door, traumatized his family, blocked off his street, and then left. And I'm pretty sure he said he didn't even know why they stopped him. Don't they have to tell you that? Don't they have to have a search warrant to search your shit? This is apparently this is, and he's like, I didn't do it. And the police left. So they investigated him. He was never formally arrested. That's not been reported. I mean, obviously he's there right now. And this guy's like, it's not me. So let's listen to it one more time. Because this is crazy. So as the police were leaving, the media that had been waiting outside of the area they had taped off when they're going through this guy's house, they got his car up the road going through that or across the street. And then once the police just take off, they run and they get this guy and interview him outside of his house, and his family's in there. And I think you can hear like maybe his mom or his wife are like, don't answer any more questions. So I think he was ready to have like a full interview because he's probably so traumatized. I mean, you got to feel for the guy, especially if they didn't arrest him. It's not the guy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, who knows? But he's like, his name's been put out there.
I don't follow the news.
Right.
I don't watch.
You don't watch the Today Show.
No.
So this was a complete shock.
Like she just had, he doesn't even know. The same with his mother-in-law. They're like, we don't know who Savannah Guthrie is. We don't watch the Today Show. We don't know what's going on.
It was.
What kind of questions were they asking you?
Nothing. They didn't ask me no questions.
So they just said,
nothing. They
so they
just sent
took
me in
it-
the car. They investigated my car and this one, and that's it. They didn't ask me no questions. No nothing.
Did you get the other car back, or they still have it?
No, it's right there.
Oh, they gave it back to you. So
Yeah, it's like
and they said you can go home.
yeah.
And how did they treat like the people you were with, your girl, your child?
I don't want to speak
Yeah,
about
not
that,
understood.
you know
Yep.
what I mean?
How's your family? They
Well, they're all
scared
in
everybody. I was gonna say they scared everybody, huh?
Yeah, they're all in shock right now.
Wow.
Did they damage the house? Yeah.
What did they do to the
They
house?
broke the doors. What else, man? The garage door in the back. Yeah.
So what are you gonna do now?
I'll try to clear my name. I didn't do anything.
Well,
Can you
this
tell
is
us
one
your
of
name
the-
again? And that's done. I mean, I hope they get the suspect because I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name. And I'm done. Look at what I'm putting my family through.
You're on
Not just
national
them,
news now.
Not just them. Even my parents in Tucson.
Right.
Yeah.
And your mother-in-law was worried about you. She was saying it doesn't look anything like him.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm telling you guys. Like, fuck.
Why do you think they came here? Why did you think they came to you?
If I would have known that answer, I would have given it to you, but I don't.
So you have no idea what led them
No,
to
I do
you.
not.
Nothing. They didn't
Nothing.
give. They didn't say car make, a license, nothing.
Nada.
Carlos, ¿hablas español?
Los dos. Soy bilingüe.
Carlos, si nos puedes platicar en español para Telemundo Arizona, ¿qué fue lo que sucedió?
Pues me estaban acusando de secuestro, algo que yo no hice. Y me. I'm done.
Okay.
What's your name?
Sorry, what's your name, sir?
Carlos, una
Carlos.
pena en español, por favor.
Gracias, Carlos. Gracias,
That's not him.
Por favor, a ver.
Dude, are you going to sue them? Are you going to sue them?
She's like, that's enough. It's time for bed. Let's go. I mean, that is crazy. Someone thought maybe, I know I saw different like people speculating, wondering if maybe they had some DNA and he was in the system. Is it just they're just pulling over people they think look like the guy on the Nest cam, which would be very on brand for Kash Patel and the FBI, I guess. But he says they didn't ask him anything. They just ripped apart his shit, traumatized his family, and then blocked off a street for hours, told the national media his name, and then left. That's crazy.
Oh, that is crazy.
That's Carlos?
That's Carlos.
That's Carlos, man. They got the wrong guy. Yeah.
Now, like JLR said, his dad, who lives in Tucson, who allegedly has a records name, is also Carlos, but he's obviously a lot older. I don't know if they meant to go after him or I don't know what they were thinking. And I guess we won't know until we hear from them because they didn't even tell this guy what they were thinking.
Oh, that's crazy.
Did you say his last name at any point?
Yo, it's not him. Holy smokes.
I feel bad for this guy. He's just living his life. And then, now his name is out there. And, his family's traumatized. And if he has nothing to do with it and they've already left the scene.
What in the heck? Dude, this is not over. Oh my goodness. Share that out. That is crazy. Yo, that was clipped. That is crazy. Wait, we got another person out here? We got anybody else out here that's affiliated? Yo, that's crazy.
What just happened?
Some lady just shows up. What just happened? Girl, you missed it all. You missed it all. You're going to have to go on the replay crew. I'd tell her.
That's crazy. Dude.
Thoughts, folks. I thought they got him. They let him go. Yo.
Why would they even put this information out there? Put his name out there and all these things if they didn't have the evidence they need, if they were just searching. I don't remember hearing, like, when I hear about cases or missing people, I mean, am I just remembering incorrectly? But how many times do we actually hear the name of every person they might just be looking into? I feel like we don't, unless there's going to be some kind of arrest brought into the station for questioning something, right? Yeah, Peggy said he did have thin eyebrows. Did he even have a mustache? Because the guy in the Nest cam, I think he had a mustache. So justice for Carlos. Oh my goodness. So now this little town that he lives in outside of Tucson, Rio Rico, I think JLR said he was going to go back, and now he was going to go camp out in front of the brother-in-law and sister-in-law's house. But again, we've heard this brother-in-law's name thrown out by Ashley Banfield, but we have no proof. That hasn't been substantiated that it is him. It feels just like, I think someone said in the chat, like a wild goose chase, you know? Oh, did he have a very thin mustache? I didn't even notice. I just felt so bad for the guy. He looked traumatized. So let's see where he is at live. If he's back in the
But
neighborhood.
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a little.
Okay, let's hear what he
They
says.
say always talk to.
I'm also going to pull up the Brian Enton, because I've really enjoyed watching Brian Enton, his interviews and stuff. Him interviewing the mother-in-law, because I think she also corroborated, like you guys said, that they did not have a search warrant. Do we just not have search warrants in this country anymore? It's crazy.
That was creepy, right? Somebody pulled up. I thought somebody was coming.
All right, let me rewind just a little. So he's back in the neighborhood of Annie
funny to know.
Guthrie's house and her husband. Yeah, I like that Brian Enton. He's got great hair too. Very professional. He's got like a spotlight on the house. Hi, April. Greetings. Amy, you have a tiny crush on Brian. I can see why. He's a cutie.
That's their security. I'm gonna stay on the street. Stay on the street. Public street. Reenactment.
I would be scared out there. Coyotes, javelinas, snakes, scorpions, black widows. I'm a desert girl. I am not going out in the No. Other things.
Somebody pulled up behind me.
I guess not, Googie.
That was creepy, right? Somebody pulled up. I thought somebody was coming to jump me
Oh, God.
or something. You know, I'm like, uh oh. Crazy, right?
It's so dark you could run into a cactus. I did once, but I was drunk, but it didn't feel well. I actually touched it because I was drunk. And then it's a long story, but okay, let's see what JLR is doing here.
It's crazy.
He says crazy a lot. It's crazy. I probably did too, though.
People are like, get out of there, JLR.
Yeah.
Hello, it's me. What's going on, man? I'm all right, man. I'm just showing my viewers what it looks like out here at dark. How are you? Are you the same one I always talk to? Oh, you're new, somebody new. Yeah. Don't worry, I ain't going on the I'm not going on the property or anything. I'm just walking down the street. All right, stay safe. Yeah, they have security people.
Yeah, I would too.
Dude, isn't this crazy? Look how dark it is out here. Look how dark it is. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hello, photons. iPhotons. Yeah, so they're back to stalking.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's literally like
Annie and Tommaso.
Cactus and all, and people like, if you don't know these things and you don't have a flashlight, you're screwed. You'll plow right into that, man.
I wonder if they have mountain lions there. I don't know.
It's crazy how dark it is.
Tarantulas. That's another thing.
Has it been busy around here tonight? Has it been busy around here tonight? Yeah. No? Somebody pulled up behind me. That kind of freaked me out a little bit, to be honest.
Oh, pickles.
No media? Nobody camped out here? You know, they detained someone temporarily. They let him go. Did you hear about the guy?
No, I haven't heard anything about that.
You're not in the loop of what's going on?
I have been, but
Yeah, they had a guy down there in Rio Rico.
yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, they let him go. You know, the feds were all around here today.
Yep.
They were everywhere.
Yep.
Do you mind me asking one question? How much you get paid doing this? Seriously. Like $100 an hour?
I wish.
Like what? Like 25 an hour? Something?
It's not bad.
Why do we care what he gets paid an hour? My God. And also, I am losing all, like, the FBI is involved, and this is all going very horribly.
Bad. Do you just doing, like, are you normally a security guy? Or you just, like, do you do other jobs?
Bobcats. Oh, Bobcats, yes.
Amen. Take it easy.
All
I'm JLR. What's your name?
Henry.
Henry. Nice to meet you, Henry. Stay safe. I was talking to Henry.
Scorpions.
So he makes about $25 an hour being out here doing this. Dude, look. This is crazy. Yeah, Henry might not be his real name.
Yeah. What's your 401k? What's your mortgage? Or
But there's
do you rent?
like lots of paparazzi out here too. Probably they probably saw a car come up here and like, what's going on? Come out and you got like when they see cars. Whew, it's cold. Like, my goodness.
That part right there, Kayla. Oh boy, doesn't have the UV black light flashlight. And if you live in the desert, you know, and that's how you find the scorpions. And my friend Lisa, when she bought a house, we were in our 20s. She unfortunately got a house that had a lot of scorpions, and we would go in her backyard at night and you get the black, and it was terrifying. She had like a cement, for some reason, they're always on the cement walls. It is terrifying when you see all the scorpions.
They're not scary out there.
But then you find out like the big scorpions are scary looking, but they're not actually as dangerous. The most dangerous scorpions are the little clear ones. Oh no.
Really scary, man. All right, let me scour around some things and see the latest. We're not done.
I think JLR's been doing this. He's coming up on 24 hours.
No street lights.
Been awake.
No street lights.
You know?
We have ordinances. Yeah, I might go to sleep because you know, we got an early start. Got to be back out at first light.
That's crazy. Amy, thank you so much. Amy Joyers 2708. Thank you for the super chat. Says thanks for covering this case with such grace and humility. That's so nice of you to say. So hoping they can bring Nancy home. I found you during the Lauren and John shenanigans, and you bring so much levity and laughter. Keep doing the damn thing, my girl. You truly have a gift. Tell hubby hey from a fellow ICU nurse. Oh, Amy, thank you so much. And I love that you're an ICU nurse. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being amazing. You know, obviously, yeah. You and Hypeman Husband Chill. I have a soft spot for all nurses, but especially ICU nurses, obviously. So thank you. That was so unbelievably kind of you. I appreciate that very much.
Hopefully. You never know what can pop off.
Yeah, Fig, he might be punch drunk. That's when
let me
you're
see
so
the
tired.
Pima Farms. Let me look at these media people here and see what they say.
All right, let me just. How far
It's
behind
still
am
not
I?
been found. Nancy, who's involved? A JLR investigator literally like not going.
Sorry, guys. I just wanted to see where I was at there. Let's hear what he has to say.
So I'm still out here, folks. JLR investigates. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, they let the guy go. So now we're back to square one. Who did this? Where's Nancy? Who's involved? Who's the kidnapper? Late at night, it's 2 a.m. She has still not been found. We're 10 days.
went on a goose chase, but sometimes you have to go on goose chases. Who is this guy right here? Who is he? You know who I'm talking about. Just creepy.
It's very creepy.
It'd be crazy to be able to just go to someone's house and do that in the middle of the night. I think somebody paid. I think there's two of them. Personally, I think there's two of them. I mean, you're acting like it's like one, but I think there's two of them. But you got to be some sort of crazy psychopath to do that to somebody inside their own sanctuary, inside their own home in the middle of the night, like this time right now. Seriously.
Yeah, Nicole, that is my fear too. Nicole says my fear, it's Tommaso is totally innocent, and so many irresponsible people keep driving droves of hatred in their direction, right? That was the scary part when I first heard Ashley Banfield report on that. I was like, oh shit. And then people run with it. And then, the police saying, no, we don't have a prime suspect or a suspect. And then when she originally said, oh, a prime suspect, and then she named him, and then she's like, well, maybe a prime suspect. I'm like, there's a big difference there. So yes, that is very, very scary. Kayla says, yes, scorpions are probably the only reason I don't hate living in Minnesota. We ain't got them up here. Jolene, yes, I'm a Minnesota girly, born and raised. But they do have the wolf spiders in Minnesota and wood ticks. And my husband, born California, we met in Arizona, so he's a little bit of a desert boy, and he was freaked out when we moved to Minnesota briefly over wood ticks. And to me, I'm like, it's a wood tick. You just pick it off. They're gross, but you see them, you get them, you pick them off. And if you're in the city, you're not going to get wood ticks. But if you live, out in, you got long grass or something out in the burbs or out in the country, it's some wood ticks. And my parents live kind of out there. And so his experience with wood ticks is he can deal with scorpions and all that, but wood ticks, I'm like, I would rather deal with wood ticks. However, the deer tick, anyways, off topic, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get some rest, and we'll start fresh in a little bit.
Okay, so he's going to get some rest, which is good. Everyone should get rest when you're, out there that much. B12 says, why were they canvassing their neighborhood, right? And looking, they were reporting that they were looking in like septic tanks, which, oh my God, I can't even wrap my head around that. IDK, who knows what they're doing anymore? That's the thing. This case feels as though no one knows what they're doing. And it took 2 weeks now to actually get this nest footage. And that I don't understand. Why it would take that long to get back footage from your Ring, your Nest, camera. I have a Ring camera. I think so many people now, they're pretty common. And even if you don't pay for the subscription, which someone said she didn't, we know things are stored on the cloud. Everything is everywhere. Anything that's put out there or filmed exists out there. And why did it take this long for it to come back where we're just getting it today? That to me is crazy. Oh, Sherry, I love hearing that. I credit the ICU nurse's advice, saving my husband. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yes, ICU nurses, all nurses are amazing. ICU nurses are amazing. I could never do what my husband or other ICU nurses do. I just couldn't do it. It takes a very special kind of person. I know that's not my skill set. I can look up things and talk shit on the internet and make jokes. Like, that's it. It is so much. Cash Patel's FBI. It's total chaos. This poor family, poor Nancy. It's just, I don't even know. Like tonight's, that's why when, everyone's like breaking news here, I'm like, I'm going to wait and see. So with this, I was watching it, seeing, and then when I was watching JLR and saw that they got the wrong guy, I'm like, are you serious? after his name and shit has been put out there, after people started searching him and criminal records and stuff. Okay, let's take a look at Brian Enton's interview with the mother-in-law of the guy that they've now released. They never really had him in custody. I mean, they said he was detained, but they were like going through his shit and blocked off his road and tore up his car and his home and terrorized his family. But let's watch this interview that Brian did with his mother-in-law. Obviously earlier today, before we know what we know now, which is the police are like, okay, bye.
We're told there was a traffic stop close by. I'm outside the house that is now being searched where this subject lived, we're told. There was a traffic stop close by. This is the subject being questioned in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. This is Josephina.
Yes.
This is her house, and the subject is her son-in-law.
Yeah,
is
my
that right?
son, yeah.
Tell me how this happened. Where was he when he was detained?
My daughter and him were, and the kids, my grandkids, were doing DoorDash when they got stopped here, and I don't know what kind of questions they asked them. But when we got home, I wasn't at home. When we got home, we found out that they took my son out. They went inside, they busted the doors from my house. They went inside and took my son to the living room and had him handcuffed, and then got him outside. That's when the time that we got home, and we asked what was going on, and they couldn't say anything. And they said, and I asked him to have a search warrant to go in my house, and they said we don't need a search warrant. We could go do that if we want to. So I told them, yeah, I think you need a search warrant. Why did you break my door? You took my son the wrong way. I mean, you hurt him. His wrists were with the handcuffs.
Let me ask you, were you familiar with the Nancy Guthrie
No.
case? Had you seen that she was missing?
I told you, I saw it on Facebook, but since I don't know her, I didn't read what was going on. The story.
Did they take electronic devices at all? Did they take your phone?
I don't have anything. They took
your
my phone. They took my phone, my husband's phone, my daughter's phone, my grandkids' phone, and my son-in-law's phone.
Let me show you.
This is insane to me, because if you look at how quickly they just were like went after this family and how long it took for them to go after or get a search warrant for that one crazy lady who thinks she got impregnated by all those guys, like the Bachelor. Amy, what's her name again? Lori, whatever. And they had to, she had her lawyer on the line. And then these poor people are like, no, we don't you need a search warrant? They're like, no, we don't need a search warrant. And then taking people's phones, right? That chick gets all the time and grace. And they're like, hi, come out. And she's like, I gotta call my lawyer. We have a search warrant. Let me see it, Laura Owens. Thank you. Her trial got delayed, right? Because I want to be watching it, but things keep happening. And I thought I saw that it got delayed. But she got all of this grace. Meanwhile, this guy's door dashing, and they're like, no, we don't need a warrant. What? And it is, if you look at Rio Rico, is literally right on the Mexican border here. And it is 13 miles from Nogales, and it's south of Tucson, right? I'm looking at a little map here. I lived in the dang state, and I'm still like, what? Yeah, so south of Tucson and right on the Mexican border. So you wonder how much that had to do with how they were treated versus Laura Owens.
These pictures really quick, Josephina, of just give me a second, I gotta pull them up on my phone. These are the pictures from outside Nancy Guthrie's house. This is who they're looking for. Do the eyes look like your son-in-law at all?
No, not at all.
Do you see the mouth?
Yeah, no, he doesn't look at all.
Brian, can you ask what her son-in-law's
what's his
name is?
name?
It's Carlos.
Also, this guy, I know he's a mask and everything, but he looks bigger. Like, he looks fatter than that guy. He looks taller than that guy. Or this guy looks taller and fatter than Carlos, who we saw, who seemed small.
Carlos Palazuelos.
Sorry, what's his name?
Carlos.
Carlos.
Yes.
And what's his last name?
Palazuelos.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. So.
And does he work in Tucson? Would he ever be in Tucson?
He's in Tucson all week. He works delivering boxes for like UPS, and he works with a company. And I told him, you can call the company that he works there and verify that he's working. And
Is your daughter also detained?
no, they just let my daughter and my grandkids go.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you, Josefina.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the latest here, Jesse. They took her phone too,
Yeah,
her husband's phone, and
they just take her phone,
her daughter's phone, and obviously her son-in-law's phone, and they are searching her house right now. So this is sort of an unfolding situation.
And I'll get into this with Arthur, the fact that they didn't have a search warrant, according to her. Do you know where Carlos is right now, Brian?
Ooh, it's the long crime guy, right? That's long crime, bro.
Do we know where Carlos is right now?
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. They took my phone. I can't reach with nobody.
Yeah, we think he's being questioned. But...
Yeah, they already asked us a lot of questions about him. Like I said, I have nothing to hide. You can go in my house. You can search anything you want. There's nothing to hide. I don't know the lady.
But never tell them that. Make sure they have a search warrant, because you never know who's going to plant stuff on you. I mean, you cannot trust what's going on in these agencies. That's just my opinion on it. I mean, I know I would, you feel the same way. You're like, I have nothing to hide, but still call a lawyer. Make sure they have a judicial search warrant.
I don't know about that lady. I saw her on Facebook, but like I told you.
Was he ever violent? Any violence with Carlos?
No, he's a good guy.
Criminal history that you know of?
None of it.
No criminal history. And people were reporting. I was watching the live stream saying, I think he has this is why it's so dangerous. Because people were saying, I think he has a criminal history. And then JLR was looking into it. And then he was mistaking possibly that Carlos's dad with him. So once that gets out into the world, it's like propaganda. It's just like gossip. It's like rumors. And then it just starts taking on a life of its own, and it can destroy people's lives. And this guy has a wife and a family. He's just door dashing, living his life. And now his name will be synonymous with this horrific crime and possibly other crimes, because they got him mixed up with another Carlos who may or may not be his dad.
Is he from Tucson?
Brian,
yeah, so I mean, that's sort of the situation. She's obviously in shock. Yeah.
Did you show her photos of the person outside of Nancy Guthrie's house? The images, the mask, the backpack. Did she identify any of those items of clothing? And nothing. She doesn't see anything in that.
I did, and let me show you again. Have you seen these photos?
Yeah, the detective showed them to me right now.
And the backpack? Does the backpack?
He
look
doesn't
familiar?
have a backpack. He doesn't wear backpacks. He doesn't like.
I've never looked down on someone because of their skin color. To me, true diversity is diversity of thought.
I'm outside the house that is now being.
Tommy Lauren? Why did Tommy Lauren start playing? Get out of here, Tommy. No one invited. Didn't that sound like Tommy Lauren? What happened? It's probably her. She probably did it.
Not diversity of color. I don't see color. I go after Hillary Clinton when she is white as they come.
Being searched where this subject lived, we're told. There was a traffic stop close by. This is the subject being questioned in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. This is Josefina.
Yes. Poor Josefina. Was it from another site I have open, like Daily Mail? Where's Tommy Lauren coming from? It sounded like Tommy Lauren's voice. That political hack lady, right? It sounded like her. Oh, Lord. Leave us alone, Tommy. We don't want anything to do with you. Only I heard it? Okay. I was like, what is going on? Ew. Get out of here. Oh, my goodness. So all of that happened today. Like so much, from the Nest Cam video and photographs to then them detaining the wrong guy, going through his car, ripping through his house, terrifying his family, people starting to search him, getting him mixed up with possibly his dad's crime, but it might not even be his dad. Who knows? Only for the police to then leave, and then the media to descend on the guy's house and him to just look completely in shock because he doesn't even really know about this situation or this case, and his mom or his mother-in-law barely knows about it, according to her. So what a nightmare. Okay, you guys heard it too. I think she's haunting me or something. I'm like, why is Tommy Lauren playing? That's every time I play something on Facebook, something weird happens. Facebook is a weird, right? And the timing when she's like, I don't think a skin color. I was like, oh, Tommy Lauren, get out of here. So creepy. Let's see what you guys are saying. Calvin Guerra says it makes you wonder though, what did they have on him to be able to establish probable cause and detain him? Exactly, because he didn't know, because they didn't even tell him. And if he has no prior criminal record, like his mother-in-law saying, what did he have on them? Could it just have been profiling? I mean, but it's so far outside. The interesting thing is, and the strange thing is that Rio Rico is, let me see, Rio Rico to how many miles it is to Tucson is about, oh, that's 59 miles. So they went to a town 59, almost 60 miles down the I-19 North from Tucson to detain a man, only to then let him go. That is really weird.
Allegedly.
Because when JLR was driving, it didn't seem like an hour, but then I always play everything on like 2 times speed. So I don't know. Amy, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for the memberships and the super chats. I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe it could be. That's true. 'Tis me, Krista. Could be a car match. But to drive that far, do they have some other kind of information from the Nest Cam that we're not aware of? But I mean, if they had a car description, I mean, wouldn't they give that out when they gave out the Nest Cam video and pictures, so that people could go, oh, maybe I know this person, or maybe it was a tip from the video that and pictures that came from the Nest Cam, possibly. I'm not sure. We really don't know. So that's so weird, Donna, because I was just talking about the BTK killer with my husband today. That BTK didn't have a prior record, neither did Koberger or Ted Bundy. I mean, I was so weird because I brought him up as well, because I was like, it could be someone who just is, living a double life that has never been caught before. It could be someone she knows. It could be someone she doesn't know. The thing is, it could be anybody at this point, because no one has so far successfully identified the man in that footage from the Nest camera. So I don't know. Let's see what you guys said. Guy said he has paper plates too. Amy said no one was arrested. Yes, only one person detained. So no one was arrested, only one person detained. And then I think people were even going to the hospital. I think JLR went to the hospital to see if they could get any information if Nancy Guthrie happened to be there or something. Just trying to keep up with it all. I don't know. Yeah, maybe since he was like a DoorDash, that could be something, Jill, that they linked maybe him as someone who could have in the last, weeks or whatever, delivered something in Tucson to the home. Possibly. Yes, I saw him pull up in the hospital. I think I saw him go into Little Bits of Lisa. It's crazy. C. Taylor said social media claiming he was making a run for the border. He was a door dashing in the area he lives. Yep. With his significant other and his kids. Yep. In his mother-in-law's home. So there's just so much speculation. Honestly, I think this crime was sophisticated enough that the perpetrator will not be someone with a prolific criminal record, Calvin says. You know what? You could be right. Just with, all of those examples that were just listed, unfortunately, of people who have been caught, like Donna said, who had no prior record. They just don't know. Kim says Lori Daybell had no prior. Lots of these psychos had no prior. Double O John says, what breaks my soul is the thought of Nancy being, yes, woken up and taken by the masked monster into complete darkness, the terror she must have felt. Yes. And then people were speculating, since, you know, they had someone detained for a brief period of time, this gentleman down south of Tucson, right on the Mexican border, people were speculating, well, are they holding Nancy in Mexico? There's just so many what ifs, and it's just a nightmare. A complete nightmare. That is true, though. Sally's saying it was amateur. The way they tried covering the door cam, that guy, that was a whole mess and a whole joke. Let me pull that up again. With this monster at Nancy Guthrie's door and her Nest cam, and then trying to cover it up with plants. I cannot wait till they catch this idiot. Ugh. And then I think I was watching Surviving the Survivor, and he has a lady on there that I enjoy when she's on. I forget her name. She's like Dr. something, and I think she does profiling for these type of criminals. I could be wrong. But she was saying, you know, usually you see these guys or someone who's going to show up with, you know, the backpack, the jacket, the gloves. They're going to bring, like, you know, spray paint and just spray the camera. Like, the fact that he had all of those other things but didn't think of how he would cover up a camera, like a ring cam. And then she also was talking about the position of his pew that he had right in front of his pee-pee. And I'm like, what a loser, this guy. Because he literally had it. After she pointed it out, then I noticed it. I was like, oh my gosh. Amy Joyers, thank you so much for the $9.99. Says, I'm convinced it's Dominic Evans. They bring in completely unrelated people, but we can at least bring in someone that seems like, we should have looked at you a week ago. Bring Tomato in too. I mean, they haven't brought, as far as we know, anyone. And this is the first time they've even, you know, detained anyone. So who knows? Donna Marie, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate that. All right, let me see if I can pull. Let's see. So there he is. And when I first saw this, I'm like, what does he have, a nut cup on? Like, what is going on over here? And it turns out that's the pew. Or it could be a taser or something, but I think she said it was taser or pew. But to carry it there, who does that? And then also to put the foliage, the plants, right in front of the camera. And let me see where is this the video? Yeah, here's the video of him. Just, did he know there were cameras? Is it that sophisticated in someone who's been to the house before, if he wasn't even prepared to cover security cameras? And then walks over there and grabs plants. But as you can see right there, which looks like a pew to me, right on where allegedly he has a wee, but who knows with this kind of guy, you know? To hold it there is, you just hope it accidentally unholsters and goes off and shoots him right in the dick. You know what I mean? That's just me. Allegedly. That's just, he doesn't look that sophisticated to me if he's got his pew on his penis and he's covering the camera up. So I think Sally Doll does have a point. But then with the backpack and everything, it's just horrifying. But he just looks like just an idiot. Just an idiot. So, Every time I see this guy, I'm like, yuck. They cannot find him soon enough, you guys. Let's see if they've even started reporting that this Carlos guy, that they were incorrect. Person detained. Questioning released. Okay, so CNN reported it about 30 minutes ago, saying that that guy has been released. So at least that's out there now. But I do wonder what kind of case this family could have against, you know, the police in that area or the feds or whoever the hell was like, we don't need a search warrant, and detain them, put their name out. So, detained person released. Authorities have released a person detained for questioning in Rio Rico, about 60 miles south of Tucson. We already know this, CNN. CNN affiliate KNXV reported authorities searched a car and a home. Not only searched it, but he said they Wreck-It Ralphed. Nancy Guthrie's whereabouts remain unknown, according to a law enforcement source. Surveillance video. The FBI released doorbell camera footage from outside Nancy Guthrie's front door, taken the night she disappeared, showing a masked armed person. Separately, FBI Director Kash Patel said the agency is looking at persons of interest in the case. Pleas for help. Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie posted another message today from her family saying they believe their mother is still alive. You can submit actionable tips to 1-800-CALL-FBI, or you can visit tips.fbi.gov. So that's the latest, you guys. Unfortunately, nothing came to fruition with the person they had detained. And it seems like they're no closer to knowing where Nancy Guthrie is, unfortunately, and just complete and utter nightmare. But I am 100% plugged into this, like I'm sure all of you are, as this has just taken over my entire brain, wondering where this woman is, why they can't find her, why they really have no leads, why it took this long with the Nest camera, why did they detain someone only to release him without telling him why he was detained or having a search warrant. I have so many questions. So I'm gonna be back tomorrow, you guys, but I just thought this was so crazy that it deserved a little late night live, and also to just go over what I had just seen on JLR, because I did not expect that to happen, to the police to just take off and then for this Carlos gentleman to be outside like, I don't know what happened. I hope they, clear my name because I didn't do anything. So hopefully they keep investigating, but maybe put out a little less information unless they're sure. And hopefully they have search warrants. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a comedian. But thank you guys so much for joining me for this late night, early morning live. Tis me, Krista. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. You guys are all sweeties. Wipe the seedies. Stay safe. I will see you later on today. But until then, smash that like, leave a comment after the video posts. And like I always say, enjoy yourself because it's later than you think. Bye.